Hey, what's up, everybody? It's DJ Fanatic Beats, content contributor for LiveOffBeats.com. If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at DJ Fanatic or Instagram at DJ Fanatic Beats. And Fanatic is spelled Phanatic. Today's video, hopefully it'll be helpful for you. I'm pretty sure it will. In FL Studio, I'm going to show you how to merge pattern clips as well as making patterns unique. And it's a quick way of making a different pattern, just changing a few things from a previous pattern, and it helps your workflow. It helps you get your ideas out quicker and also makes your beats more diverse. That way they're not just pretty much plain and stagnant all the way through. You can just have a lot of movement, a lot of creativity through your music. I use it probably every time I make a project, and it definitely sets you apart from people starting out producing to intermediate to more advanced production techniques. So anyway, let's jump right into it. This is just a little pattern, like a little melody and a few things I threw together for the sake of the video. This is pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 5. Looks like I skipped some patterns, just randomly making stuff. I'll let you hear it. This is what it sounds like. Actually, let's just do the pattern 1, and I'll show you how to make pattern 1 unique. So we'll mute these, just clicking these little green dots here, and let's make that a little wider just so you can see the data. So we're playing pattern 1 here. I'll select this pattern right here. And we're in the playlist window in FL Studio. So to copy the pattern, if you hold down Shift and left click, you can drag it to the next bar here, the 5th bar. Or let's just delete that. Or you can select the pattern that you want to duplicate, and you select Control B. And what that does, it latch pastes right after the pattern that you selected, and of course it duplicates it. So Control B is a quick way of doing it. Just make sure your snap to grid is on a good selection. That way it just snaps right after it and it stays on tempo, whatever. So to show you to make this pattern unique, let's say for instance this pattern, you don't want it to be exactly the same. So what you can do is, before you change any notes in this pattern, you see this little piano roll, like a little piano icon in the upper left. You select that, and there's an option that says make unique. And what that does, when you select that, you left click, it makes it into the next pattern. So that's pattern 2, and it changed pattern 2, which was here, to pattern 3. So it just basically shifts all the patterns. Now it's its own pattern now. It's a separate pattern, which means you can make it different than the first pattern. So I'm just going to listen to it just to kind of hear what I want to do musically. I changed the last chord. Let's make it a F sharp. And we'll just duplicate that down here. And make sure we actually put it on the right spot, which is the first beat of the 4th bar. And we'll just play this pattern by itself. And I believe I don't want that. Anyway, you get the idea. Select that. See, what I'm going to do is change some of these other notes that we have playing in the background. So that's all I'm doing. Bring it down an octave. And to shift a note from an octave is control up or control down. It brings it down full 8 notes an octave basically. So I kind of wanted to close off this second pattern, kind of end the melody. So that's how you make it unique. Making it unique makes it its own pattern, and you can change a few notes or whatever. That way you can have more variation in your music, and you can make that duplicate that entire part and make it latch as well. And you just have more diversity in your music. The other thing I was going to show you is how to merge patterns. Merging patterns is good for like exporting MIDI. Let's say you don't want to export MIDI for each pattern, or you know, you want to organize your music. Let's say you got tons of these all over the place, you know, just for the sake of the video, and you have just music everywhere, and you got all these little patterns. Let's say you got a bunch of little, like for instance, these little patterns here, pattern 6 are little hi-hat patterns. Let's say you got those all throughout the beat for the next 5 or 4 minutes or whatever, 3 minutes, and you kind of want to organize things. So let me show you how to merge patterns. I can actually merge all of this, but I'm not going to do that. So let's just delete what I did, and we have pattern 1 and 2 here, and I'm going to play what we created with these hi-hats. So let's say pattern 1 and pattern 2, we wanted to merge it. You select what you want to merge, and then you go to this little drop down up here in the upper left, and you go to edit. Go down to merge pattern clips, and you notice there's a shortcut there. You can do Control G as well, which stands for group, but I usually just go here because there's so many shortcuts in this software. But Control G is a quick way of doing it, especially if you do it a lot. That way you don't have to even go to the drop down. So we'll select that. Boom. All of this goes to pattern 2. Notice it's all pattern 2 now. It's merged all one pattern. And that's great for like when you want to export MIDI, and also when you want to organize your music, when you don't have patterns all over the place. Let's do that for the same thing here. Let's say we want all these hi-hats to be the same, and you want to merge them. This time we're going to use the shortcut, Control G. It's all one pattern, and it went to pattern 8. See pattern 7? Notice pattern 7 actually still exists, which was what we merged the 7s into pattern 8. So, and pattern 1 should still exist as well. Yep. See, pattern 1 is separate as well. So it's basically there on your pattern picker, but it shows up as merged on the playlist window. So definitely, you know, incorporate that in your production when you're working on your music. Definitely keep things organized, and the make unique feature is crazy because it just makes it easy for you to change little things instead of creating a whole nother pattern, like a whole nother one, and you know, creating a whole nother pattern and copy and pasting the same thing and just changing one chord. This way you can always just keep moving quickly, changing one thing at a time, or just totally flipping, you know, the chord structure in this unique pattern. You can make unique again, which would be see how the merge pattern 2 changed to pattern 3. Now that's pattern 2, and you can totally change chords, you can change melody, you can change a key, which I don't recommend, but there are certain things you can do when you get really advanced. You can change a key in a unique pattern, or you can use inverted chords. You can just pretty much change anything for that second pattern. So it's good to have diversity. It's good to use it, when you're producing, and you'll get used to it as you progress and constantly make music. And the merge feature is awesome for organization and workflow. So hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing or anything. And again, if you like to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at DJ Fanatic, PHANATIC, or Instagram at DJ Fanatic Beats. I'm a content contributor for LiveOffBeats.com, and keep making dope music. All right, and don't forget to make unique. Peace.